She seems excited about it. You know, saw her talking about. I saw one clip where the interviewer was like, "What's your name?" And she was like, "Mary J. Blige." Like I could tell it was instant irritation. Like, you know my name, and whoever this media is going to that it's intended for knows my name. Like, don't play with me. But she was like, "I'm gonna keep it cute."
But she always looks irritated in those
She
interviews.
do. She don't want
She's
to.
just kind of sitting there like, all right, I got to do this, but
What's up, Janelle?
hey, Bronzy,
How's it going?
it is going okay.
I
Uh,
see your son is trying to tell you how it's gonna go.
listen, we were up here setting up for how long, and he was asleep the whole time. As soon as he said,
Knock
"Okay, cameras rolling," he said, "Wait,
knocked
what?"
out. It was like action. Oh, this is my time to shine.
Exactly.
Here we go.
Yeah.
How was your
But
week?
the week was fine. You know, pretty hectic with work, but manageable. How about yours?
Is it ever not hectic at work?
Very true. You know, always something, right? Good stuff though.
Yeah.
Fun stuff.
Yeah, right. It's just like busy, you know the world that you operate in. It's always like jump from this, fires, this. That's just the world of marketing, advertising, etc. My week was cool. A long week,
Yeah.
in ways irritating. Um, like I just don't understand, but I can't get into the particulars on the episode, so I won't. But I will sidebar because I don't think I told you. But yeah, overall, good week. Um, going to Delaware tomorrow. I think I said that last time I was on. We
I
had
know your
an
your
episode.
extremely long trips to Delaware. We talked about it last
It's
episode.
my extremely frequent trips to Delaware. That's the issue. But after this, I think it's gonna be a minute because I'm not doing this every weekend. Um, but yeah, and then playing tennis.
So this is news to me. You and Hamadi are in a league, and that doesn't mean just like going out and practicing and playing tennis together or whatever. But you guys like actually play now competitively against other people.
Yeah, absolutely. We
Who are
go
these
out
other
there.
people?
So this is like a local league. It's like a free local league because I guess tennis is pretty big around here. So we'd be out at the courts playing, and then someone approached us and was like, "Oh, you guys hit pretty good. Do you want to join this league?" And we joined last year. But this is the first time we're like doing it for the full season. So it's like a spring and then a summer and then a fall. And so yeah, we be out there getting to it.
Well, I told you. Well,
We out
that
there
takes
serving like Serena and everything.
that takes any chance of me coming out there to play with y'all off the table because what I'm not gonna do is set myself up to lose.
I mean, we don't got to go out there and be like trying to play a match. We can go out there and rally. Well, I mean,
I'll
just
think
bring your
about it.
racket.
I got to get back out on the court and get some practice hits in before I feel confident enough getting out there with y'all.
See, it's always these people talking this big game, and then when it comes time for the rubber to meet the road,
Listen, okay.
it's like, oh, I gotta. Wasn't you supposed to race somebody, and it was the same thing?
Well, yeah, no, that wasn't my fault. That was not my fault. I was supposed to
Oh,
race my friend Maddie, but then she changed up the distance, and I was like, "That's not the distance we agreed to."
oh, okay,
And if we
okay,
can't
got
settle on the specifics, then no need to even lace up the kicks.
But Janelle, you're retired. I think you just need to enjoy your evolution and let that be
You
what
know
it
what? You're
is.
right. I am retired.
Marty too. I be telling him he retired, but he refuses to let himself let go. In his
No,
mind, he
every
still
time
can
I
go out
get up,
there and do 800.
when I get up and start stretching, I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'm retired. All right."
He'd be retired after these tennis matches too, the next day. But I digress. Anyway, we have a couple of things to talk about, really interesting things that have happened over the last couple of weeks. Are you ready to jump into Above the Fold?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right. Well, first up on the list, I know you saw Mary J. Blige teamed up with Giuseppe to finally release her thigh high boots, right?
Yes.
Everybody's kind of has been joking forever that that was just kind of a brand. She needed to partner with somebody to make some
Hmm.
kind of thigh high boot because that's her signature look. So she finally released some thigh high boots. They look to be like a rose gold joint with Giuseppe, sold out. And I think they ran around, what I saw was like 1,200 pounds. I don't know what the conversion rate is, but they weren't cheap.
Yeah, they were not. I mean, it's just Giuseppe Thigh High.
Right, right.
Yeah. She seems excited about it. You know, I saw her talking about. I saw one clip
Hmm.
where the interviewer was like, "What's your name?" And she was like, "Mary J. Blige." Like I could tell it was instant irritation. Like, you know my name, and whoever this media is going to that it's intended for knows my name. Like, don't play with me. But she was like, "I'm gonna keep it cute."
But she always looks
Um,
irritated in those
she
interviews.
do. She don't want
She was
to.
just kind of sitting there like, all right, I got to do this, but
Let me tell you something. Mary at this point has said, "I have paid my dues. I have done my time. I don't have time for any foolishness.
yeah.
None. No inconvenience." But I saw a couple of mixed reviews. So on
Really?
Twitter, a couple of people were saying like, why would she come out with a boot at this price point? And to that I say, Mary be fly and fresh for real, like in real life. Like these aren't
Right.
costumes that she be putting on just because she's performing. I feel like she wakes up and walks to the well, she ain't walking to no bodega. She has her driver drive to the bodega, get out and
I
get what
don't
she
even think she
needs.
goes to the bodega. I don't think she's eating
She
anything that
doesn't.
come out of a bodega. Like I don't understand what the
She doesn't. But what I'm trying to
association.
say is she wakes up in the morning and puts on the fashion. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So she
Yeah.
wasn't about to do a partnership with H&M so
Right.
that
With Rainbow.
everyone could afford it, or Rainbow. She is a luxury brand. That's how she presents herself. So it makes absolute sense that this isn't going to be for everybody. And that's fine. That's fine. Everything's
Yeah.
not for everybody. So yeah, I liked it. The only like when I my immediate reaction to it was like, I doubt it's going to be. But is this like a one off? Is it going to be a line? Is it going to be expanded? Obviously, you do like proof of concept. So you put one out, see how it does, and then you determine, do we continue doing this? How do we do it?
Hmm.
But I'm curious to know like what this partnership looks like long term. And maybe I'm jumping the gun, but what is
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, and I know the shoe sold out, but I wonder how many, units
Right.
they produce for
You
this.
do a
But
limited run. You run 100 units, you're gonna sell out.
right. But no, I think that this is the perfect collaborator for her. I don't think that she should, you know, I guess like cheapen her brand.
Mm-mm.
If she's up there wearing Giuseppe's, which we know she is, and she's sitting up here courtside in her luxury fashions and stuff, then she deserves to play in that space. Period.
Absolutely.
Sticking with clothing and in that vein, it was announced that Gunna has a clothing line called P dropping. He just released an album. Obviously, there's a lot of stuff around Gunna, right? Like the
Yeah.
whole Young Thug case, Diddy snitch, who's working with him, who, I guess that leads to the question, who is this clothing line for? Like, who do you foresee walking down the street pushing P?
Is that
I
rhetorical
don't
or
see
is that
it.
an actual question? Because
No, it's
I
an
don't.
actual question because he got to sell units, and I want to know, like, I don't, I don't get it.
That's. I mean, maybe his fans. Doesn't he have like a cult following? I mean,
I
maybe I don't
guess. I
know.
mean, like
I
the
don't know.
music.
I'm not a. I couldn't
I'm
answer
just
that.
I'm just a bit
I don't.
confused at the brand right now because again, like after the whole snitching stuff, everybody claimed they weren't going to listen to him and he was dead, but then he dropped Fuck You Mean, which went what? I mean, it was if it wasn't a number 1 hit, it was definitely in the top 10.
Mhm.
And so it's just like, okay, well, maybe there is a path out of this for him, but I don't know that a clothing line is the right strategy, but I don't know. And also the clothes, like, they're pretty mid.
Mid. Yeah, you can say it. You can say it.
Yeah, they're pretty mid. I think even like, is he known for his fashion? Not in a positive way. Yeah, I have seen a couple Gunna fits before, but they weren't presented as like, oh, look at this fit he got off. It was more like, look at this fit he got off. I mean, even to the point where Rihanna dressed up as him for Halloween that one
Right, 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 right,
year.
right. Yeah.
So, just thought it was an interesting play.
Not Janelle about to be a fashion police
I
because
mean, I
last
got
week you
eyes. I'm
was going
sorry.
in, and this week you going in.
Who'd I go in on last week?
SZA.
Oh, SZA. I mean, I have eyes. My bad. I mean, they're not the greatest, but got these glasses on.
Oh God. Okay. Speaking of fashions, do you want to talk about the Met Gala?
We can. You can go first, though.
I don't want to. I mean,
Why
I
not?
can because I'm upset
Why?
because the girls were going in on my fave.
As they should have, if we're talking about the
Okay,
same
we're not doing this.
fave.
We're gonna pivot and talk about whatever it is that you want to talk about because you're not gonna be emotional support for me in this moment.
I'm okay.
And
Just say what. Just say. I mean, say what you need to say. Say what you want to say.
okay, so they were talking about Serena,
Yeah, they
the
were.
Goat Williams, and I don't know how to reconcile the internet chatter, but
What is there to reconcile? Like, the Met Gala is about putting that shit on and stepping out. She ain't had that
and she
shit
be
on.
putting that shit on and stepping out.
But she didn't the day that it mattered. The Met Gala. She did not. She did not look good, Bronzy. Stop it. And that's okay. That's okay to recognize. She could still be the GOAT tennis player. She just didn't look good that night.
I do feel like if she gets the right team, like it could be so easy for her to like
Okay, well,
take it.
she got
Take it.
first.
If she had I said if she had the right team. So I'm not disagreeing. I just don't like it. And I think that's where my issue is because I expect and want so much more.
Can we
Like
stay
she
here
had
for
like
a second?
Fantasia's stylist and like how do you shape a woman or accentuate a woman that has like curves and what falls on the body and what to accent and where to put things and then also the hair and makeup. There's so much that you can do with a Serena Williams and I'm like who and why and how are y'all missing the mark?
I don't know. I
Amadi
agree.
Amadi has something.
Let's hear it.
Yes, speak up.
I can't hear him.
The person that does her makeup is a really good makeup artist, but he feels like if she had someone like Pat McGrath, that would be like game changer. Or Sir John. Or yeah.
I
But
mean, yeah,
what
but
were
if
you gonna say,
anybody had
Janelle?
Pat McGrath, it would be a game changer, right? And I mean, but the thing is, like, Serena has the means to get these people, but she has the one acknowledge that her team isn't good and go out and seek a better team. But I was saying, I want to stay here because I've been having a lot of conversations about the role of fashion in the sports arena lately and people who don't have the right team. And I don't want to get into too many specifics, but we know the WNBA season has just started and tunnel fits are a thing. And I saw way more misses than I saw hits
Oh,
this past week.
I
It was bad. And some of these girls have teams. And that breaks my heart because I'm like, you paid for that? That's
oh.
crazy.
Well, listen, I think that It's the same thing for those folks. You got to one acknowledge that your team is not good, and then go seek and require more and require better.
Yeah, you have to have a level of taste to understand what does and doesn't look good, because I'm sure I'm sure Serena didn't put that on, look in the mirror and say, "Oh, this is mid," and step out anyway. I think she thought she looked good.
Yeah, but a lot of that is also about your team making you feel that way. It's like, oh no, this is good. You know what I mean? Like you be in the room with all these yes men or people, and that is the outcome where it's like you do your fitting and it's like, oh, I can do this, I can do this. Oh, this is going to be great. Then you leave feeling like, oh, this is going to be great. Like I feel like, yeah, you're right. She did think that. But another thing I wanted to talk about really quickly is Lala Anthony.
Hmm.
I think she did exceptional. Um,
She did. She
I
interviewed
think,
Bad Bunny on the carpet. You
yeah,
talking about that clip, or what are you talking
hmm
about?
yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I think
And I know
people
we talked
forget.
about Lala. We talked about Lala before, but
Yeah.
this is on her resume. This, when I think of Lala Anthony, these are the things in the when you think about her being tapped to do things or be in a director seat.
Hmm.
Let it line up the transferable skills, and this is
But this
lining
not
up.
even a transferable skill. This is her
But I'm
skill.
saying
Like
if
that's
she
how we
was
met
doing
her.
something, or she was
Oh yeah,
tapped
yeah,
for
yeah.
something, it needs to be something in the realm of what we know she's able to excel at. What has she
Yeah.
done so far as a creative director of Airbnb?
I still don't know. I get what you're saying, and it's not that these people shouldn't be able to flex and stretch and do whatever, but it's like it can't be a massive leap. You know what I mean? It
Hmm.
needs to be adjacent. Like um, going back to Mary J. Blige, right? She didn't come out with, you know, a hat line, and it's just like, well, girl, I didn't even know you was into hats like that. It was like, okay, I want to jump into fashion, but I'm gonna do it through this avenue that I'm known for, which is wearing, thigh high boots.
Hmm.
That makes
Right.
sense. Um,
Right.
but no, I think that sometimes we forget because of like all of the extracurriculars in Lala Anthony's life, as far as like her her relationship with Carmelo Anthony and her friendship with Kim Kardashian, and just seeing her out and about as more of a socialite, that we forget
Yeah.
she's
This
actually,
is.
yeah, she's actually a journalist, and therefore, seeing her on the red carpet and translating for Bad Bunny, and you forget all this stuff about her. You know what I mean? So I loved seeing
Yeah.
her in that role. Good looks.
Yeah. You're right. Do you have any, like, what was your top two fave looks?
Oh, top two fave looks. I thought Zendaya looked amazing. Great
Hmm.
team, right? La Roach. We talked a little bit about the fact that he's been everywhere as of late, between all the Met Gala conversation and the press run for challengers that they're on. So shout out
Hmm.
to them. And then I thought, what's her name? Amber Russell. I thought her look was cute. I thought that was a good look.
Oh, nice,
That
nice,
felt on
nice.
theme as well.
Cool.
I don't remember much of anybody else, honestly.
Yeah. I thought Little Nas X really looked good, and I also thought the Kindle, the one. Did she wear the Givenchy? Yeah, the dress from the archive that never been worn.
I didn't see
Yeah,
Kendall.
I think those are my favorite.
Okay. And you said Kendall?
Tyler was excellent too. Amadi was like, y'all didn't like Tyler, and so was
Oh
Cardi.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Tyler was cool. But uh so Tyler was wearing Balmain, I believe, and Olivier was on the carpet too. Did you see his look?
I didn't see Olivier.
Oh, look it up, cause he pissed me off. Yeah.
Oh God.
That braided, that I don't know, that braid wig, whatever he was wearing. I'm about sick of him.
Oh God! And then Amadi said we have to mention Venus Williams.
Yes,
She did look stunning.
She did. I mean, there you go. You got a team right in the family. Ask your sister, girl, who's dressing you?
Law was doing her for a minute, but then he retired.
Yeah.
Or whatever he did. But cool. Met Gala was fun to watch. Beautiful gowns.
Beautiful gowns. Next up, do you listen to Ice Spice? Are you a fan of Ice Spice? Can you name a song other than Munch?
No.
No? Okay. Well, she has an album coming out. Nope. No. I think she got a song called Bikini Bottom. Don't ask me how I know that. It's work related.
Okay.
But no, she has an album coming out, and I've been seeing a lot of things. I don't even know why I put it on the list. Now that I think about it, I'm like, do I care? Not really.
I don't. I just saw the pink truck with the smoke coming out somewhere in Harlem.
Yeah. I think I'm just kind of ready for a good album rollout and just want to talk about something that actually catches my attention. So I'm just grasping at straws. I don't know. I mean, she had the car. I think the song was called Give Me the Light" or something like that, and it was like a sample of the Sean Paul song. And so she had a car that was like smoke coming out. I think she's partnering with the MTA and has Metro cards with her face on them and all that kind of stuff. So I think there's a lot of money behind it and a huge push from the record label. But yeah, I don't know. It's kind of giving that Summer Walker rollout where it's just like, oh, there's potential here.
Yeah.
But I don't know that you are, taking advantage of all the tools at your disposal.
I mean, I give her an A for I don't know, and I cannot speak to it, so I give it an A for effort. I don't have enough details to really be like, oh, this is great. This is not, and I also don't think I'm the target audience. Maybe I am, but I'm not interested.
I don't think I'm the target, and that's fine. Everything isn't for us, And
that's fine.
But jumping back into some fashion and sports stuff. Did you see the Skims work that came out featuring the WNBA players in time for WNBA tip-off?
I did. I'm conflicted with how I feel about Skims.
Why?
And I think I said this before. I mean, I cannot deny. It appears that the product, it's a good product. It appears. Mm-hmm. The branding is good. The marketing is good. The partnerships are good. I think it's just a personal hang-up that I have. Nothing against the brand.
Personal hang-up with
Kim Kardashian, yes. Mm-hmm. And even that these days, I'm struggling to put my finger on. But it's just something that I'm not. She's not my girl. She's not my girl. That's what it is. She's just not my girl.
I get that. I understand.
But I did see, because now they have the partnership. We knew they had the partnership with them, right?
Yeah. But they had never, I don't think, put out anything as extensive as they had done with the NBA. Like that because when it was announced that they were partnering with the NBA, it was also announced the WNBA, but everybody just kind of like focused on the NBA part of things.
Yeah. Nice rollout. I think like clearly these deals are simultaneous with, I think, sales. I think like the brand is doing well.
Yeah, and I think, obviously it's smart. Obviously this was announced months ago, but partnering with the WNBA right now is super smart. They're in all the conversations, all the new blood that has been drafted that, you know, our rookies this year have brought a lot of energy, and just a lot more eyeballs to the conversation. You know, everybody wants to see how is Caitlin Clark going to do at this level. You got Angel Reese and Camilla out there balling, and Cameron Brinks in LA, and you know, so it makes a lot of sense. And I think we're going to see a lot more celebrities in attendance and high profile people in attendance. Lotto was at one of the Chicago Sky games, and I think she was sitting courtside, and they asked her, you know, what brings you to the game? And she mentioned, like, specifically Angel Reese is the reason she was there. I think
Here for Angel Reese, period.
As she hopped on her on her private jet.
Right.
And then Kim took North to the Sparks game. Obviously, makes a lot of sense for her to be in attendance with the Skims partnership announced.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited to keep watching the WNBA and to keep seeing these people like supporting it.
Yeah, likewise. Go Skims.
Go Skims. Look at you already. Staying in the realm of the WNBA, it was finally announced that A'ja Wilson has a signature shoe coming with Nike. Clap, 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 clap. So yeah, last weekend, I believe it was, ahead of one of their preseason games that Vegas was playing in, where were they? They weren't in Columbia, South Carolina, wherever the school is. Like, she was playing in the arena, you know, back at SC where she used to play with Dawn Staley, you know, so it was just like a big homecoming moment. I believe she's from there too. And so it was the perfect place to make the announcement. So she walked through the tunnel with a shirt that said, "Of course I have a shoe.com." The landing page just kind of like outlined all of her accolades and said, like, of course Nike was going to give A'ja Wilson a signature shoe coming whenever it said it was coming. I don't know that it said. But,
you know, it's amazing. I want to say it is amazing. I'm glad. I'm happy for her. But is it of course? Is it of course? Is it of course? Like, I get it. It feels good. It's a nice tagline. It's a nice thing to say. But is it truly of course? Or is it now of course because of the heightened pressure, I guess, for Nike to do the things that I just feel like, especially in particular, this draft season has caused a bit more questioning to some of these players that have more tenure in the league and the things that they have been getting in terms of their contracts with these athletic brands. I think it goes back to the conversations that we've had a couple of weeks now on, like, what and when, how, what are the
I think that's
that
more
causes brands to pull the trigger.
No, yeah, I think that's more so the question. I think where there were some missteps or some, what's the word I want to use? Where there was
Opportunities missed?
Yeah, was in the how and the when. But I think it's reasonable to imagine that she is a Nike athlete. It wasn't like they had to go out and acquire her. She's already a Nike athlete that has done all of these things. So I think that it's not unreasonable to think, like, yes, she was going to get a signature shoe. Now, when it was announced, how it was announced, why they waited till when they announced it, that can all be debated. And I think that, you know, those things have been debated. But I think it was probably always in the cards.
Okay. I'm not mad at that. I'm just curious, like, is it truly one of those of course moments? But okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, this next one, speaking of Nike athletes, Sha'Carri um, has been featured in a lot of Nike, uh, Nike marketing as of late, which makes a lot of sense heading into the summer. We got the Paris Olympics coming up. Sure, you're going to be seeing a lot more of her as well. But
Hmm.
I hadn't seen this spot that you sent through. This is.
Yeah, I thought it was cool. I don't really have a ton to say about it.
Mhm.
It feels like they did the spot synonymously or in parallel with the actual shoot or the photos that were published with it.
Mhm.
Um, and yeah, I think if we're just seeing more and more opportunities to see Sha'Carri's personality, which I think her personality carries a lot of weight. And I mean, that this feels like such an obvious statement, but it carries a lot of weight in terms of her presence and her like her social value. And I feel like Nike is leaning into that by like allowing her to be front and center, speaking, leaning into who she is. You know what I mean? So like even the script for it is like Sha'Carri do this, Sha'Carri do this, Sha'Carri do X, Y, and Z. And I think we've seen a previous spot that has that same lens as well.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, even the fastest woman in the world needs to slow down once in a while. Shop the Air Max DN now. It's kind of like the tagline. So she's saying like they be having me do all this stuff. Sha'Carri pose like this. Sha'Carri smile more.
I don't know that we talked about it on the last episode, but that was kind of like the same ethos as the Sprite spot that just released. Did you see that?
That's what I was thinking. That's what I'm trying to think of. Yes, 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 yes. We did not talk about the Sprite spot,
We didn't.
but same ethos, which makes me think
What?
maybe it's just timing, but like, how did that happen?
I don't know. I mean, I think that.
I can't imagine that Nike saw a Sprite spot and was
Well,
like, "Well,
no.
let's do something
Like from a
similar." I feel like
timing
these things
perspective,
literally happen at the same time in like
yeah.
different.
From
Yeah,
from a timing perspective, there's no one didn't influence
yeah,
the other. These were probably both in production, or
hmm,
getting edited at the same time. I just think that it's one of those things, like that's what Sha'Carri is kind of known for. It's just kind of like her personality, or her being like her kind of like bucking the system a bit and being like, if it don't feel right, I'm not
bucking,
doing it.
bucking, bucking.
Okay, you got to get your
Whoa,
head out of Cowboy Carter
sorry,
land just for a sec. Um, but
but no, you're absolutely right,
yeah, so
and I think
it's
that's
an
what I was
easy
trying to say
angle.
is
It's an easy angle for her. So we're gonna see a lot more of this, I'm sure. Like of her being like her leaning into the persona that she's kind of built over the past however many years. And I think also, again, we're heading into the Olympics, a space that 4 years ago we weren't able to see her in because of the
hmm,
drug testing, whatever, and her having weed in her system, so she was disqualified. um so it's like, okay, we finally get to see her on this world stage, because we have seen her win world championships and all of that kind of stuff since then. But I think the
hmm.
Olympics is just a different conversation. um yeah, so I'm excited for her though.
I'm very excited for her. I cannot wait. I mean, we're seeing in real time all the things that she deserves or that she's getting.
Hmm.
Um, yeah. So obviously we're rooting for her.
Yep. Speaking of women in sports, we're excited for Candace Parker announced her retirement, and fast followed with the announcement that she is going to be, or currently is, the president of women's basketball at Adidas. Um, I think that was important news, because this news dropped before the Asia Wilson news dropped.
Hmm.
And when people saw that, they were like, go scoop up Asia because Nike's not treating her right and all this kind of stuff, whatever.
Uh,
So yeah, so I'm interested to see what this means, again, as there are more eyeballs on the WNBA, as huge talent is coming out of the NCAA. Um, and even current players that haven't really gotten the looks and the eyeballs that she's able to engage on behalf of the brand. All right, well, shifting gears a bit, you sent me this spot yesterday I hadn't seen. It's an Old Navy spot featuring Tracy Ellis Ross and Yara Shahidi, former co-stars on Blackish together for their summer campaign. What were your thoughts?
I thought it was cute. That's it. That's literally the only
Yeah.
thought I had. Black people, black women, um, getting a bag. And it was cute. It was a cute, heart-warming, and I mean, can I say nostalgic?
What-
Because Blackish isn't on anymore.
mean,
In a way, like seeing them two on screen
Mhm.
just made sense. Like I don't know. I don't know what the rationale was around like let's tap Tracy or let's tap Yara, but to tap them two together, knowing they already have like that chemistry, people are used to seeing them on screen together. Yeah, it just felt good. Yeah, I think it's like an honorable mention spot that happened the same way we did the Fiat spot.
Yeah, that's how I felt about it. I'm like, oh, this is cute or whatever.
Yeah, y'all check that out if you haven't. What I really wanted to get into, the reason why I showed up today is we know there's continued dialogue. The U.S. Supreme Court has determined, is it the Supreme Court or was it the House? I don't know where the bill ended up being passed. I think it was the House, and then
yeah.
President Biden signed it. That TikTok is to be banned. They have a year to decide that they are going to leave the country or to sell. And TikTok is like, we're not doing either. So I don't know how they're fighting, but ultimately they're like, we're not doing either. But a question was posed, I think it was like in the Essence publication, could Spill be the black-owned replacement of TikTok? And I'm going to go ahead and say that's a hard no. It sounds good in theory.
Weren't they? Weren't they supposed to be the black-owned replacement to Twitter?
For Twitter? Yeah, they were. So I feel like this is like the idea is like, oh, if this goes away, what can we go to? But I mean, TikTok and Spill are two very different platforms. And unless Spill like increases their product stack, which I'm sure they potentially could, but I don't see it as a replacement for TikTok.
I don't come from a tech background. You're going to have to explain to me what product stack is.
I'm sorry. Product stack is basically like what's available. Right now, it's like a read-only platform. It's not really, I mean, you can do videos, but it's not like, how Instagram introduced Reels, then they introduce Threads. Those are like different products within the platform. So I'm saying like with Spill, unless they start making it like a video first platform and they change the algorithm, like all the things that make TikTok, it would be hard for Spill to be like, oh, we're going to actually be the replacement. Come here and get that same feeling or use it for the same reasons. It's not the same sort of product.
Yeah. No, I agree. And that's why I'm always kind of hesitant when a product comes out or and they are trying to frame themselves as the replacement to, whatever. Like when all those products came out as a replacement to Twitter once it was bought and it looked like it was gonna die and all that kind of stuff. And like none of them replaced it,
Yeah. Yep.
Like I think rather than trying to be the replacement for one of these other platforms, especially being such a new platform, you kind of got to put the time in, the sweat equity in to kind of maybe build a new place and not try to be the replacement of.
When's the last time you went on Spill?
I knew you were going to ask that, and I don't know. Probably whenever I was
You
only
got
on
the
there.
code
Yeah,
to
I got the
log in and
code.
get
It was a
on.
couple weeks. I think
When
what.
we were pressed to get the code.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Hamadi, when's the last time you've been on Spill? Have you ever been on Spill? He said yes, he has been on Spill. He doesn't remember the last time he's been on Spill.
But see, and I think though and not naming any other platforms, but there was a number of platforms that were trying to frame themselves as a replacement to Twitter around that time. And at least my time on those platforms was short lived. And I realized the reason why is because I like Twitter for the jokes, the funny shit that people are getting off on these platforms. That didn't transfer to these other spaces. It just didn't.
Yeah, or for the immediate term, they were just repurposing Twitter content on there, and it's like I already saw this on Twitter.
Exactly.
So it's like, why would I leave there to come here and get this regurgitated content?
Yeah, I think they need a wholly new brand strategy that's not tied to a Twitter or a TikTok. I mean, because I would love to spend a reasonable amount of time on a Black-owned social media platform. I mean, for the past however many years, 3-4 years of this podcast, I've been asking where the hell is Black Planet? You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
I'm hungry for that type of space. Yeah. I just think that it's going to take a lot of work and just a different approach, and it can't just be trying to chase after what's already out there.
Cool.
All right. One more thing to talk about in Above the Fold, super last minute edition, but Bumble has gotten a lot of backlash. I thought we'd be a little remiss not to mention the backlash that Bumble has gotten after a big campaign that they executed. I don't know if it was in one city or if it was like across the country, but basically they've received a lot of backlash for a campaign that's centered around like anti-celibacy, almost, I guess you could say. All I can really say because I didn't get into the weeds of it, I just kind of know like top line, they put out a whole bunch of billboards telling people, get back out there. Celibacy ain't the answer. And kind of like alluding to people being celibate because they're not trying and putting themselves out there on the apps and all that kind of stuff. And people are like, that ain't really the reason. Like, stop telling people what to do with their body.
Yeah.
One way or the other. And I think that's a pretty reasonable kind of rule to follow. Don't tell people what to do. Period.
I mean, yes and no. Like, I feel like we just live in an environment that is really sensitive.
Yeah.
And I guess you have to be aware of that as
exactly,
brands.
you do.
But that's what advertising is about, is like influencing and leaning into or speaking to a specific audience about a specific thing about your product. Mm-hmm. And if that's the messaging that you want to promote, there will be people that love it and lean into it and are like, yeah, that's for me. And then there will be people that don't agree with it and be like, yeah, no, that's not for me. And I think both sides of that is fine. But as you are going out with messaging, I mean, I get it, but
I get the message they were trying to convey, but I don't know what Bumble inherently has to do with celibacy. Like, if you want to talk about dating or being like not putting yourself out there is not the answer, or not meeting people, but it jumps straight into sex. And I'm like, I never got that from Bumble. Is like that was the goal of this product. You know what I mean?
That's why I go on Bumble to hook up.
Exactly. So I was just like, I don't really understand like why they went that route. Like, I get, again, like when you see all of the ads in totality, I'm like, okay, I understand the message you were trying to convey. I just don't think it had anything to do with sex. I think it had to do more with with people just kind of like putting themselves out there. But then there was a lot of backlash around like, okay, well, think about the reasons why people aren't as open to putting themselves out there anymore. Is it because of the behavior of people on your platform, or there's just other things that need to be addressed? I don't think that. I guess that's what it comes down to. It's just like, I think their insight was wrong for this campaign.
Well, what if they were trying to like switch it up and be like, okay, we're not, because it was like the tagline or the subtext was introducing the new Bumble, so it would be like, a vow of celibacy is not the answer. Introducing the new Bumble. What if the new Bumble, their whole idea was like, let's be more of that hookup app without saying like we're now a hookup app. That's what it feels like if I'm looking at it to fine tooth comb. But who knows?
I don't know about that.
I get what you're saying. No, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm looking at.
I'm just trying to think
like,
about what
a vow of celibacy is not
you-
the answer. You know full well a vow of celibacy is not the answer. Thou shalt not give up on dating and become a nun. Okay. I mean, they got enough backlash that they've pulled the campaign and issued an apology. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll do it. Cool. Well, that wraps this week's Above the Fold. It is now time for Guess That Spokesperson. This week, you will be giving me hints and clues on the brand and the spokesperson, and I'll do my best, child.
This week,
do my best.
I told you when we hopped on.
As long as you give me the right cities and the right facts, I might have a chance.
Right.
But I'm going to need those things to be correct.
Like I said, whether I got the city right or not, adjacent, you weren't going to get it. But, okay, all right, fair, fair.
To give me a chance.
Fair. Well, these facts this week are super simple. I'm sure you're going to get it just because I told you I ain't feeling the greatest. So I was just like, bro. Google top 3 facts. Thank you. So the brand is Toyota. And the spokesperson's career spans music, film, and comedy. They're a former SNL cast member and have hosted SNL 3 times. And something I didn't know, but you might really give it away, is that he has 10 kids.
Jesus.
That's what I said. Goddamn. So those are the
Toyota.
3.
10 kids. Toyota hosted SNL 3 times and was an SNL cast member.
Mm-hmm. And career has.
What was the last one?
Career has spanned music, film, and comedy.
Music, film, and comedy. Music, film, and comedy. Who comes to mind? I have someone that comes to mind. Is it? I need to ask a yes or no question.
Mm-hmm.
Does this individual star in Coming to America?
They do.
Eddie Murphy.
See, I told you it was easy.
He has 10 kids? I did not know
he had 10 kids. Yes, he has 10 kids. Also, can we please, have you ever heard his song, the song he has with Michael Jackson?
No.
Oh, you got to listen to that song.
Is it good?
What's your definition of good? No. The answer is no. It's not good. I think it's called What's Up With You? Oh my, and you got to watch the video. You can't just listen to the song. You got to watch the video. I have never seen something actually so bad in my life.
Oh my God.
When I need a good laugh,
why did Michael Jackson sign up
when
for
I'm
that?
feeling a little down, I go and watch that video and it cheers me right on up.
Okay. Check it out.
Yeah. Hamadi, put that in here too. I want everybody to see it. If my ears have to bleed, everybody's have to.
Everybody. All right, y'all. it's time for going with your black ads, or that ain't it. Janelle, it's on you.
Damn, this one's kind of hard. I think I might have to give. I don't know. Okay, I guess I'm giving That Ain't It to Bumble. That's the only one we really talked about that, like, really felt like there was some kind of backlash, even though it wasn't really a black ad, but whatever. Hey, Bumble. Now, going going with your black ads, I might have to give that to. I'm gonna give it to Mary. I think I'm gonna give
Okay,
it to Mary.
that's
Why not?
that's cute.
Yeah.
That's cute. I'm gonna just need her. Yeah, give it to Mary. Yeah, give it to Mary. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and give That Ain't It to Bumble as well. I just want Mary to understand that as the face and the figure of the product,
Hmm.
it's fine. It's fine. And I'm gonna give Going with Your Black Ads to Adidas with Candace Parker.
Yeah, that makes sense too. But I also kind of want to give it to Asia too. So I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I would give it to Asia, except Nike should have.
Yeah, I think. Yeah,
I don't like the whole of course piece,
I knew that.
but I'm happy for Asia.
I knew you. That wasn't sitting well with you. Really
All right,
quickly.
y'all. Y'all let us know
Wait.
what
Really
y'all think.
quickly.
But no.
Speaking of Mary, just because we were talking about Mary J. Blige and just like, the aunties or whatever. Did you see? What Auntie Anita pulled on Mother's Day in Atlanta?
Oh,
Talk about a mess. I was like,
what is
girl,
going on with her? She needs to stop. It's time for her to pull out the rocking chair and
not the rocking chair.
just enjoy. I mean, just relax. Relax. You have given us some of the soundtrack of our lives, and it spans generations.
Yeah.
At this point, maybe pop out once or twice a year, because that way you'll be feeling up to it by the time it's time for you to do it.
Yeah, but if you're gonna
But
pop
you
out,
being out on
gotta
the road
pop.
consistently,
And I thought she retired. You know how many times
not
she's
working out.
retired at this point?
she done retired about 10 times. She done retired about 10 times.
And the actions they're
Every year
giving,
she
you
retires.
actually do want to retire. So just do it.
That's what I'm saying.
All right.
It's time to pull out the rocking chair and pop out on Mother's Day, maybe. Pop out on Easter, maybe. Pop out New Year's. It might be a little too late for her, but you need to just pop out very.
I saw her at a
Here,
Valentine's
there.
Day show
She's
in New York. That's when she should pop out. That was good.
Okay, nice. She's overcommitting at this point, and I don't think she can keep up. She gets in these shows and she start being nasty to the people, the sound people.
The opening
She gets to
acts.
these shows and she start telling opening acts, y'all ain't going on. She get to these shows that people done traveled, done bought tickets for their moms, talking about, I ain't coming no more.
I'm like, how do you go to
No.
Black Ass
This is not the way you want
Atlanta
Yeah.
on a Sunday?
Come on, auntie. I know. Yeah.
That was nuts.
On a Sunday after these people done got out of church, expecting sweet love.
Hate to see it.
All right, y'all. This wraps another episode of Witcha Black Ads. As always, like, follow, and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. Check out witchblackads.com and send us anything that you see out on these streets that you want to hear us talk about. We're always looking to see what's going on. Until next time, bye.
Bye.
That's what the fuck I'm talking about. God damn. That's what I'm talking about. It was so black
I wonder how
ass.
news anchors
It
and
was
stuff
black ass.
They probably get done. They probably be like, that's a wrap. And be like, like, you ever seen that one where you thought